Take a moment to feel the passage of time. You feel like you are moving forward. The past is behind you, gone deleted, a ghost of memory. The future is ahead of you, blank, unwritten, a fog of possibility. And the now feels like the only thing that is real. But physics suggests this is a lie. Our experience of time flowing like a river is a hallucination created by our biology. According to the laws of relativity, time does not flow. It doesn't move. The tracks are not being built as we drive over them. They are already laid out from the beginning to the end. The past hasn't vanished. The future isn't unwritten. They are all happening right now in the dark. This idea comes from the father of modern physics, Albert Einstein. In 1955, when his best friend Michel Besso died, Einstein wrote a letter to the Besso family. It contained a sentence that sounded like comfort, but was actually a scientific statement. He wrote, "Now he has departed from this strange world a little ahead of me. That means nothing. People like us who believe in physics know that the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion." Einstein wasn't being poetic. He was being literal. To a physicist, death is not an end. It is simply a limit to your coordinates. To understand why we have to redefine the map of the universe, we are used to 3 dimensions: latitude, longitude, and altitude. Up, down, left, right. But to meet someone, you need 4 numbers. If I tell you to meet me at Times Square, New York, on the 50th floor, you still can't meet me. You need to know when. Tuesday at 2:00 p.m. is a coordinate, just like north or west. Hermann Minkowski and Einstein realized that space and time are not separate things. They are woven together into a single 4-dimensional fabric called spacetime. And just like space exists all at once, time exists all at once. This leads to the famous metaphor, the block universe. Imagine the entire history of the universe from the Big Bang to the end of time as a giant loaf of bread. What you call now is just one thin slice of that bread. But just because you are focusing on one slice, it doesn't mean the rest of the loaf doesn't exist. The past slices dinosaurs, ancient Rome. Your birth are still there, fixed in the block. The future slices your death. The end of the sun are also there, waiting. In this view, you are not a 3D person changing over time. You are a 4D object, a long worm-like tube stretching through the bread. One end of your tube is a baby. The other end is a corpse. The whole tube exists simultaneously. You just experience it one slice at a time. Why do we believe this? Why can't there be a universal now? Because Einstein proved that simultaneity is relative. If you and I are moving at different speeds, we will not agree on what is happening right now. My now might include an event that hasn't happened for you yet. Your now might include an event that is already in my past. If there is no universal clock, then there is no universal present. You cannot say that only the present is real because everyone's present is different. To make the math work, all moments must be real. The universe is not a movie playing on a screen. It is the entire reel of film sitting in a can. To prove how strange this gets, Roger Penrose created a thought experiment called the Andromeda paradox. Imagine an alien living in the Andromeda galaxy 2.5 million light years away. He is walking down the street. Because of the vast distance, a tiny change in his speed drastically changes the angle of his slice of now. If the alien walks toward Earth at a leisurely pace, his now slice angles slightly into our future. In his present moment, the year on Earth is 3000 AD. We are long dead. But if he stops and turns around to walk away from Earth, his now slice angles into our past. Suddenly, in his present moment, the year on Earth is 1865. Abraham Lincoln is still alive. Think about what that means. By simply changing his walking direction, the alien makes Lincoln real or dead. He makes your great-grandchildren real or unborn. If both of these slices are accessible just by walking, then both of them must exist. They must be waiting there in the dark. You cannot access a room that hasn't been built yet. The future must be real for the physics to work. This is the war between two philosophies. Presentism versus eternalism. Presentism says that only the now is real. The past is a memory. The future is a fantasy. This feels right to us, but physics is heavily biased toward eternalism. Eternalism says the universe is a 4D block. Every moment from the formation of the Earth to the heat-death of the universe has the same existence value. In this view, the dinosaurs are not gone. They are just over there at a different coordinate. They are still hunting, breathing, and dying in their slice of the block. We just can't see them because we are stuck in our slice. We need to stop thinking of the universe as a happening. We need to start thinking of it as an object. The universe is a crystal. It doesn't change. It doesn't evolve. It just is. The Big Bang is one edge of the crystal. The end of time is the other edge. Everything that ever happens is frozen inside the structure like an insect trapped in amber. This destroys the concept of becoming. We say an egg becomes a chicken, but in the block universe, the egg stays an egg at coordinate A. The chicken exists at coordinate B. Nothing transforms. The egg and the chicken are just two different parts of the same 4D worm. Change is a trick of perspective. The universe is static. It is a finished painting, not a work in progress. If the future is already sitting there waiting for us, why can't we see it? Why do we feel like we are moving? This is the spotlight theory of consciousness. Imagine a dark room filled with furniture. The furniture represents the events of your life, your birth, your first kiss, your death. They are all physically in the room right now, but your consciousness is a small spotlight. As the spotlight sweeps across the room, it lights up one object at a time. When the light hits the chair, you say, "I'm sitting." When the light moves to the table, you say, "I was sitting, but now I am eating." The chair didn't disappear. It just went back into the dark. We are not creating the future. We are simply discovering what was hidden in the shadows. This leads to the deepest crisis of the theory: free will. You feel like you have choices. You feel like you could stop reading this right now. But in a block universe, the future is a solid object. It is as rigid as the past. If the film reel is already printed, you cannot change the ending. The feeling of choosing is just the chemical reaction happening in your brain at that specific slice of the block. You will turn left because the geometry of space-time dictates that your world line turns left. You are free to do what you want, but you are not free to want what you want. This is not fatalism. It is physics. Your actions matter. They cause the future, but your actions are part of the block. The decision you make in 5 minutes is already waiting for you at coordinate T+5. You haven't made it yet, but the universe has already archived it. If this scares you, let me offer you some comfort. Eternalism means that nothing is ever truly lost. We grieve because we think the past is gone. We think our childhoods are deleted. We think our dead loved ones have ceased to exist. But in the block universe, the past is just as real as the present. Your childhood is still happening right now at a different coordinate. Your grandmother is still alive, laughing and breathing in 1980. Those moments are locked in the crystal forever. Death does not erase a life. It just completes the shape of it. But the coin has two sides. If the past is immortal, the future is inevitable. Your death is not a possibility. It is an object. It is waiting for you down the timeline like a wall waiting for a car. Every heartbreak, every joy, and every final breath is already built into the architecture of space-time. We are hurtling toward them at the speed of 1 second per second, and there is no brake pedal. If the past and future are equally real, why can we only remember the past? Why does the movie only play in one direction? The answer is entropy. The laws of physics are actually time-symmetric. An atom moving forward looks the same as an atom moving backward. But systems are not symmetric. Disorder always increases. Our brains rely on creating memories, which is a process that generates heat and entropy.
Therefore,
we can only form memories in one direction. The arrow of time is not a fundamental law of the universe. It is just a thermodynamic accident. Is there any hope for free will? Perhaps. The only thing standing against the block universe is quantum mechanics. In the quantum world, the future is not certain. It is probabilistic. Some physicists argue for the growing block theory. This suggests the past is solid frozen, but the future is not yet real. If this is true, the script isn't fully written. We are the writers, turning the chaos of the future into the order of the past moment by moment. But if the block theory holds true, it solves the paradoxes of time travel. If you built a time machine and went back to kill your grandfather, you would fail. Why? Because you didn't kill him. The past is not a draft you can edit. It is a published book. In the block universe, there are no paradoxes. There are only closed time-like curves. The ink is dry. You cannot change the shape of the crystal. You can only crawl along its surface. So, how should we look at existence? Imagine stepping outside the universe and looking at it from a God's eye view.
You wouldn't see a flowing
river. You wouldn't see people moving or stars burning. You would see a static four-dimensional sculpture. It would be a complex, glowing structure containing every joy, every tear, every war, and every life that ever existed frozen in perfect detail. The universe is not a story that is being told. It is a work of art that is already finished. This is the final lesson of the silent archives. We feel small because we think we are temporary. We think our time is running out. But in the eyes of the universe, we are eternal. We are permanent fixtures in the block. Long after you die and long after the sun burns out, your life is still happening at your specific coordinates. You never truly leave. You are carved into the geometry of space-time forever.